Welcome to our Spotlight interview series. I'm your host Ananya. Here we bring the best filmmakers from all around the world, beyond commercial cinema. Today we have with us Katerina Tarbo Ignatenko, a rising Russian-Ukrainian filmmaker who is the master of multiple crafts. She's an actress, producer, scriptwriter, and also a CEO. She's the CEO and founder of the Spirito Libro France and Belgrade. She's renowned for producing amazing films based on various cultures and on very compelling social issues. Hello, Katrina. Welcome to 72 Dragons, and we are so grateful to have you with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
A little insight on our guest filmmakers for the viewers. Katrina has produced several film projects in the USA, Estonia, Italy, France, Mexico, Serbia, and many other countries. She has created the biggest co-production company between Central Asia and Europe, and her films have also been contenders for the prestigious Golden Globes and the Oscars. First of all, Katrina, many congratulations to you on the win of Kurak at the recent Busan International Film Festival, which was held in 2025. It's a great honor. As we know, you are producer of the film, which won in two categories, the Vision of Jisok Award and the Bangladesh July Memorial Prize. It appears that the project is very special to most women and their situation in real life, as the story is based on the women of Kyrgyzstan navigating through a patriarchal society. Would you like to share more about the critically acclaimed film with us?
Of course, first of all, thank you for congratulations. It was a very important moment for all our team, especially for my director, who is also a scriptwriter, Makmato, and for our co-director, who unfortunately passed away, Emil Adeliv, with whom we start to work on this project. And I think that this film is very important. We're so happy that it got attention in such a big festival as the Busan International Film Festival because of the subject, first of all. Fighting for the woman's right is stand against violence, not only domestic violence, violence against women in general. Unfortunately, it's a very actual subject everywhere. And it was our main motivation for me and RK, as a woman in art, as a woman, as creators, why we decided to make it, because it was very problematic to make this film, even inside the country, despite that Department of the Cinema support us, and we extremely appreciate for the support. But for example, right now the situation in the country became to be harder, and that people who was ready to talk about this topic 3 years ago right now can't talk so openly. What is motivate us more, not to stop. And it's very important. And unfortunately, these independent art house films can get the support and attention only on the festivals, and if we have an award, of course, because there's a lot of different films. That's why this film is also very important that it's got this first awards, because it was a world premiere. And we're moving after right now already. I can say that we invited on the biggest and the oldest festival in Colombia, for example, in Bogota. And we're moving, just to the next festival, and we're searching a European premiere, and after that, American premiere. And I wish that we'll find a proper place and a proper home, and the stage to talk about this problem. Because if we won't talk through the art about these things, I'm not really sure that we can create the resonance in society and change the opinion or make the law works. That honestly became to be our main goal as an impact project.
First of all, the point that you have mentioned, I think it's a very critical subject right now. That independent cinema is getting exposure only when it is part of a huge global film festival, or if it is receiving an award. As you mentioned, the team also faced several hardships while creating Kurak, but it paid off at the end. And yes, coming to the next point, it's amazing how you are leading one of the biggest co-production companies between Central Asia and Europe, and all the experiences that you have shared till now, that makes me curious. Are there any specific challenges that women filmmakers and producers are facing in the industry today, which we are not aware of or which are not discussed enough?
Oh, absolutely. I think, when I only started my first debut film, I made as an independent producer. It calls Crystal Swan. I was associated producer, so super junior, but I learned a lot because it was, how to say, we were very active, and our team was pretty small. So we work very closely with the director and the main producer, Daria Zhuk, and with our international partners from United States and Germany. And this small team made a great job, because we promote our film on Oscar from Belarus. And it was a super new thing. And this is the thing that was created by brave women. I mean, because the Belarus didn't represent films 15 years, 15, on the market, because the industry was pretty down. And we create the way, we create the absolutely legal flow, we create the commission, we start to promote the films, and we create, through our film, the new wave of Belarusian cinema. And it's almost, 4 girls and our Belarusian team, our 2 Belarusian producers, who made it. So what I want to say is that the woman in art and in the cinema, if we're talking about the cinematography, they're extremely creative, they're very brave, they're full of innovations, they're not afraid. We didn't thought how we will do this, for example, it was not a single person who, when we start to sell or make searching the pre-sale, just money for development or already on production, it was not too much people who want to support us, because the director was a woman, scriptwriter was 2 women, the DOP was a woman, 3 or 4 main producers was a woman, so it was a story full of women, and the main character was a girl, 19 years old girl, so also a woman, and it looks like 8 or 9 years ago, like something not serious, I should be honest. I saw this in the face of our partners, with all my respect. They was very polite and they want and they wish us all the best. But, it was very, very real numbers. For example, that it was only, I remember, maybe I made a mistake, but it was like something about 10% of the women in the whole amount of the people who works in the film industry in United States. I mean, women who is lead the different departments. And this is the horrible amount. I mean, it's so not fair, because I couldn't understand why it's going on. Because, for example, in Russia, in Russian industry, it was more progressive, because it was a lot of women in the different departments. But right now, I think that the subject has changed, really changed. The women start to lead the big, expensive projects and show the fantastic box office, and we have to do everything, I think, to support our partners, women partners, and give them more space. That's, for example, what I tried to work with the debutants a lot. Dasha was my debutant. It was her debut film. And I did 2 short films with the debutants in Kazakhstan, because I'm working with the Central Asia a lot, and with the Kyrgyzstan and with the Kazakhstan most of all, but also open for Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan. And I support. I was a mentor, and in one lab, and I promote 2 directors, women. Honestly, it was only 2 girls in this lab. All other people was guys, and I support them. I give them the opportunity. So we definitely have to support women more. And this situation, not only in the Central Asia, is the same in United States, where I lived and worked 2.5 years, and around, in New York City and Los Angeles. And it's the same in Europe. But in Europe, our colleagues really try to give more space to the woman. We can see more laboratories, more workshops, special sections, which support women in art. And this is amazing.
It's amazing how you have raised so many points regarding women in film and the challenges that they face consistently. It's very unfortunate how the decision making power and ideation is still a male dominated affair in the global film industry. So, we really do hope that more films like Kurak and more film producers like you can defy this situation. I wonder, how did you start your journey in this film industry? For several roles such as acting, filmmaking, producing.
It's a pretty interesting, because it goes in a very strange way. Because I became an actress at the end. So by my basic education, I'm a scriptwriter, and I studied at Moscow, and I graduated at the oldest institution in the world that calls of GIG, Institute of Cinema. They're only one international institution in the whole Russia. And I passed exams successfully when I was only 16. So when I was 21, I already graduated with an excellent diploma as a scriptwriter. And at 19, I wrote my first feature script and feature film script, and I won a pretty big award in the international competition between Russia and US, Hartley Memorial, and I've got one of the main award. And so they all companies and TV channels, came to me. And at 21, I've got the main TV award as a scriptwriter, as Russian Emmy. It's called Steffi. Yes, and at 24, I already worked with Pavel Lungin. Pavel Lungin is a very famous director, who also won the Cannes Film Festival as the best director for his film Taxi Blues. So I became to be successful as a scriptwriter, pretty fast, and it became to be a little bit boring for me because I want to discover this industry more. And I tried myself a lot on a stage and on post-production. I tried something about 16 different professions, just in the cinema. While I find out that I want to be a producer, because I was on the International Co-Production Summit during the Moscow Film Festival many years ago, in 2015, I suppose. And it was like elimination and a shock, and I thought oh my gosh, that's what I exactly want to do. I don't want to be a producer, I want to be an international co-producer, because to connect people from the different countries, this is my passion, that's what I want to do. I want to know how they're doing the films in different countries. And I immediately found the place, passed exams, and started to study in a place that called Bureau, that was supported and invested by the Minister of Culture. So it was like MBA for producers. And during 1 year, I created the project, and I got a fantastic education, maybe one of the best in my life. And so intensive, so productive. And at the end, in 2015, with my project that won, with my partner at that moment, we moved to the Cannes Film Festival, to the Russian pavilion, because we won position there, we won support. That's how I jumped on the Cannes Film Festival. I was so junior, I have no idea how to cooperate with the colleagues, how to behave myself. Cannes, it's a huge market, the biggest in the world, and I was immediately dropped there. But it was very good challenge, I can say, and this festival is still one of my favorite. And after that, already, with all this 10 years experience, after that, in the middle, I always want to be an actress, and I started to get the education as an actress, in the United States and in Italy, in Studio Cinecittà. And I always successfully passed exams there, started there, discovered this. And it's also a tricky way, because when I opened my companies already, and in France and in Serbia, whose support Kurak, it's my first project when I involved these companies, because I have 3, one in Moscow, one in Serbia, and one in France, Spirito Libero, so it's a different chains. And only after this, only right now, I've got my international acting agent, whom I just right now, we make a deal during the Venice Film Festival. And we're very glad, to move in this, and to work together. We will see how it will work. I hope successfully. But it's interesting because usually the people start, they become to be an actors, and after that they want to change their profession and start to grows up and became directors. For me, it's absolutely an opposite. But I can tell you that it's also a challenge, because when you're producers with a nomination on Oscar, with awards, with a very serious status, people start to tell me like, oh, you want to be an actress? It's like, to put yourself down. What is a very strange logic, but the people really think so. They're full of cliche and they say like, but this is not serious. I mean, like the actors dream to be a producers. They do a lot of job for to be a producer. So you already a successful producer and you want to pull yourself down, and became an actress. And it's really stopped me on some period, because I also start to think like, oh my gosh, maybe my colleagues will start to think that it's not serious, but my advice, don't think so. Do everything that you want to do and represent your talents as much as you want, because it's the most important. And don't be care what the people think, because your people will always be on your side. Always, always. And you will be successful. Because when I work on the post-production, I find out that I adore to edit films. I'm very good in editing, I feel the material, I know how to edit, where to put the music, how to move it. I was pretty good at this, for 2 years working on post-production. I already started to edit the feature films and the series, like after 6 months of my work. So you will find out that, oh my gosh, I can do these things too. I didn't know. So just try. And if you enjoy the process, it's your place.
First of all, the range of roles you have tried out in cinema is absolutely amazing. It sounds you're very consistent, like you are open to new things and experimenting. You have had such an extensive experience in the film realm, transnational cinema, and various film festivals. So, if I may ask, out of all the films that you have worked upon yet or produced, which one has been the most standout experience for you? I mean, the most special project to you personally?
I want to tell you about 2 films and 1 project that I did that opened for me new opportunities. First of all, it's The Crystal Swan, because it's my first film as an independent producer, even on a junior position, because I learned a lot. And when it became to be successful, you start to believe that you can do this. So it's very important. It's your first film. I think it's the same like a first love. You always remember this. I can tell you also that it's, each my film, it's a very important. I swear by God, because it gives you such a lot of an experience, but also, I will tell you very briefly about plus one more film. It's an American premiere USA film that I made with Nusrat Durrani, who is the Indian director and producer. And why it's important? Because I did it during the pandemic, during the COVID. And I stuck, first time for the 6 years, I stuck in Moscow because I came to change the luggages and they closed the border and I couldn't come back to United States. Nusrat was in United States and Michigan University came to him and they said, like, can you make a clip on a 15 minutes about this idea? Does an American dream still possible for the different nationalities? And he said, Kate, we have some small budget and we can invest our money, so let's make a film. And it sounds very crazy. And I say, of course, let's do this. We're stuck on pandemic, why not? And we thought that it will be a small, short film, like 50 minutes. And after that, it transformed in 86 or 89 minutes film with a shooting in 8 different cities in United States, plus Mexico, plus post-production in Kazakhstan, plus post-production in Estonia. And editing in Moscow. It was a super international film with 6 or 7 international characters, and we did it for the 2 months. Can you imagine? Never in my entire life, from the idea till the end, because we were presented on Michigan institution platform that called Stamp. We present the film, took plus 1 month to clear it. And after that, sent to Italian Film Festival, that festival class A, and we had the world premiere there. So this was the challenge. Can you imagine 3 months for the feature film, documentary with the shootings? Everything was shot on legal. And that period, but how to say, got all documents, and we talk a lot when we represent this film. We talk a lot about this film. The same on International Film Festival in Saloniki, and after. And right now you can find this film, this small but very brave film, when we talk about the racism and about the opportunities and the human's right for all nationalities. And the United States, it's an example, because we shot absolutely everything, and the Trump election and Black Lives Matter, and we give the opportunities to speak to voiceless people. Simple, like you and me, who have their own opinion, who doesn't have like millions in the pocket. They're living on a very simple life. They know the problems. And it's and the Latin America, and the people from India, and the Afro-American people, and the classic white American guy, who started to fight with the government because he was a soldier in Iraq, with the very complicated subjects. So I'm also very proud by this film, because it was very fair, very honest, very brave, really. And because we integrate and drop this film with a very tiny budget on all platforms beside Netflix. You can find it on Amazon, on Hulu, on Swan, on, everywhere, on Mubi, everywhere. And this is a very great experience for me, because it was a challenge. And I was only one producer, and I got some volunteers, and we've got a tiny budget, so we made it. I have no idea how. And Kurak, of course. Kurak, because it was so difficult to do this, because of a lot of moments and nuance, not pretty correct system of financiation, because we took it from the different parts. But at the end, it gave me a huge experience, because it became the biggest co-production in Central Asia ever, with the 6 European countries on the board that never ever worked with Kyrgyzstan before, beside the France. No one worked with the Kyrgyzstan, not Luxembourg, not Netherlands, not Italy, no one. But this project, and not only this, help us to organize negotiations between France that we signed, the contract or deal memo, about the resolution where we want to work and connect our cultures, France and Kyrgyzstan. And right now the same prepares for the Italy, and it's made only because of because of promotion, me and RK, and of course our colleagues in department at the cinema. So it's a challenge. And also it's my experience when I start to make the festivals. And right now I'm making the International Film Festival as a head of development and promotion in Paris, under the patronage of UNESCO, and already 3 years. And this is a very unique thing, because not a single one festival before didn't get the patronage of UNESCO 3 years, one by one. Sarajevo only won many years ago, only one time. So creating the festivals, it's also a very interesting challenge.
Thank you so much, Katerina, for giving us your precious time and wonderful insights. We hope that your works and responses inspire more people, especially women, to join the global film industry, not only for roles on the screen, but also to create wonders behind the screen. And I hope the viewers enjoyed this discussion as much as we did, and we will be back with more rising personalities from the world of cinema. Till then, goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.